Seems so irrational, ready to risk it all. If I can't have you, nobody can. No, no. Tell me how can I get my mind off you? Oh, Sheba, I cannot take my hands off you. Tell me how I cannot get my eyes off you. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Sheba, oh, Sheba, girl, you make me a sinner. Sheba, oh, Sheba, don't make me pull the trigger. Never say never, you know I can do whatever. Sheba, oh, be mine, don't wanna be a sore loser, no, no. Don't wanna be a sore loser, no. Don't make me, don't make me, don't make me, yo, yo. Loving you be my greatest sin. Said I was done, but see I'm here. You don't make it easy.
The story of Shir as the Song of Songs, said to have been written by King Solomon, is a poetic ode to the eroticism of longing, the electrifying galvanization of desire, that indeed is the catalyst initiating one on a mystery of seeking. One may even say desire itself initiates the seeker on the hero's journey or the fool's journey, seeking the Holy Grail, the treasure, that then one goes out to return within to find within oneself. The story of King Solomon and Empress Makeda, Queen of Sheba, that some believe is encoded in the biblical Shir HaShirim, is a story of two seekers, lovers of wisdom, who through divine reflection in each other, compelled by desire, seek to drink of each other's wisdom as differentiated and filtered through masculine and feminine. Separate but equal, right? Masculine and feminine are equal in strength, yet manifest quite differently. That's what we need to understand. There wouldn't be this competitiveness of feminism, nor these extremes of harmful patriarchy, nor the harmful extremes of mythical matriarchy being upheld in divisive ways in our collective community if we understood the equality, the equity, the balance of masculine and feminine in our creator, as well as in the nature of masculine and feminine in and of itself. One is not less than the other. So a king and a queen seeking wisdom from one another is the seeking of wisdom as differentiated through masculine and feminine. King Solomon, given an extraordinary amount of wisdom that surpassed all the rulers of the world. Yet it was a masculine filter of wisdom. He had to meet his equal in Empress Makeda, Queen of Sheba, who herself comprised and embodied the equal amount of ultimate wisdom, yet filtered through the feminine. this divine reflection, its own alchemy. And then was created an entire dynasty. Who is the beloved that the soul seeks, the soul longs for? Indeed, although the Song of Songs, Shir HaShirim, is on one level King Solomon's veiled ode to Empress Makeda, the Queen of Sheba, some believe. On another level, it is the story of a Shulamite maiden in adoration of the king himself. On a grander level, it is the story of Israel as a collective, as the bride of Elohim, the creator. On an even grander macrocosmic level, it is indeed the story of the human soul, individually and collectively, that longs perpetually for union or reunion with the infinite as the creator. The infinite as differentiated in the constriction, the condensation into dense human form and physical incarnation, longing for reunification and ultimate liberation as the infinite creator. It is the longing to rediscover oneself while fully honoring one's humanity, rediscovering oneself as fully divine, unfettered, undifferentiated wisdom as creator. And thus is the journey of Kabbalah in and of itself. And Kabbalah itself is the receiving of this grand mystery. And what is receiving and receptivity itself except divine femininity and the uniquely feminine, internal, hidden, even occult way of understanding and then embodying wisdom in the transcendence of the duality through which one achieves understanding. Longing and desire, longing and desire. That's what incarnation is about. That's what initiation is about. The catalyst for creation, the catalyst for creation to then seek its own divinity and its own unveiling as the creator. For those who have ears to hear, let them hear. In the Song of Songs, the lover, the feminine principle, adores her beloved, seeks him perpetually, is moved by him. Her very insides, the innermost parts, the heart knocking, the intestines moving, the bowels surging at his very knocking at the door. Like the bridegroom come to claim the bride, who knows not when he will come, not the day nor the hour. At his knocking, she rises to open to him, to open to him paths of wisdom within the hidden, internal, feminine, occult, obscure, private paths of wisdom to open to him, yet he withdraws himself. And then she goes out to seek him, reversing the order. And she meets harm because of it and is defiled and desecrated, dishonored, rejected, and withdraws back within to then be claimed by the beloved and unify with him. This is the journey of the human soul. This is even the journey of Israel as a collective whole, deviating into paths of idolatry, sinfulness and transgression and separation, searching for the beloved in other faces. Isn't that like us women? Especially when there is a ruptured or distorted relationship with the father or the father concept in a masculine God. Don't we seek the father's face and his unconditional love in other men in our lives, in other ways? Don't we seek to fill that void in many ways? Even men as well. It is the human condition to seek in so many different ways to fill the voids that only the Creator and that divine union can satisfy and fulfill. Whether we seek it through drugs, through alcohol, through sex, through false friendships, through egoic ambitions and aspirations. But it is that longing for divine union. As I always say, when we ask ourselves why we cannot see the face of the divine, and thus the immature spiritual mind would make anthropomorphized, semi-human idols, tangible, palpable, physical statues and icons to worship, to see oneself as God. But when we realize that that in itself is a transgression because it limits the infinity of Creator and also the infinity of ourselves. It is an insult to create idols and bow down to them. We create idols with our own hands and then worship them as if we were not the Creator. Catch that. As if we were not the Creator. Not only physically, literally, worshiping these handcrafted statues made by man's hands, often purchased from a store, created by man. Why would man bow down to his own creation? Why would God bow down to his own creation? For those with ears to hear. Y'all don't hear me though. We ask ourselves why we don't see the face of God. Yet, ask yourself, can you see your own face right now? Would you ever have seen your own face if it were not for the invention of mirrors or glass, cameras, or even phones? More importantly, would you ever have seen your own face if you had not looked into the eyes of another? Beloved, your mother, your father, your friends, your lovers, looking deeply into the eyes of another, unafraid, unflinching. Looking deeply into the eyes of another, you see yourself. Face to face. That is why we are commanded to love our God with all our hearts, minds, and souls, and to love our neighbor as ourself, because ourself is God and our neighbor. Life is about reflection, the very nature of differentiation through which we understand this world around us. It is through intimacy and union that we get close enough to another to look deeply into their eyes to see ourselves as God in them and them as God, reflected back to us and reflecting back to us our God self as their God self. Are you hearing me? That's what love is. That's what alchemy is. That's what divine union is. Sacred marriage, eros gamos, Coniunctio.
Somebody ask Holy Spirit to pour and let it flow. Let it flow out. Hey, yeah, yeah. Oh, pour, God. Let it flow out. Let it flow out. Let it flow out. Oh,